Okay, today I figured I'd show you how a old VW pedal fluster went together. Because I know when I went to take it apart to rebuild it, I had no idea. So we'll start off with the base here. This is the main meat and potatoes. This bad boy bolts into your tunnel with these two bolts. And of course, obviously, the whole assembly is going to be assembled when you bolt that in. This here, this is the clutch arm. This pulls your clutch cable inside of the tunnel. This goes through the inside of this. Hang on. It goes through in there. And now you can see there's a hole in there, and there's a hole in the clutch pedal. Wow, there's usually a pin that goes through here. But since I had no idea what size that pin was, and since I completely destroyed it using the air hammer to get it out, I thought, why bother? And I bought a set screw here, an Allen, and a Allen screw, and I drilled and tapped the threads for that, and in here, and now it just bolts together, which is much easier to fix, take apart, and such. Anyhow, so if you were to disassemble this, and this was completely assembled, you would knock out that pin. And let me tell you now, it's going to be hard. A hammer wouldn't do it for me. I had to get out the air chisel with a punching bit in it and just hammer it out. And as you can see here, before it even came out, the end actually... Is it going to focus on it? The end actually got beat in by the punch, and it kind of chewed up the edges around there a little bit too. But anyhow, so you knock that pin out, and then you pull this off of this. Now it's not that simple, it's going to be stuck, it's going to be rusted. So what I did is I put this in the vise, and then I took the clutch arm and just sort of twisted it and worked it until it got pretty free, and then I could work it off the end. And that worked actually pretty well. Then you pull this circlip off just by spreading it apart. You stick two things in there, pull on it, get it off. And then this is the brake arm pedal thing. This will slide off that shaft. It comes off pretty easy. And then this is the return spring. In this case, it's this style. There's a few different styles of return springs. This thing just hooks around the back, goes like this, and then this end will twist up, and when you bolt this in, it will hook on the bolt there. Now my pedal assembly is slightly different. You see, I've got an interesting throttle linkage and a interesting gas pedal. That gas pedal is a true 60s, 70s Moon Eyes piece right there. It was originally it was sandblasted aluminum finish. I painted it black and then sanded off the tops of the meat tenderizer spikes here and of the moon, so it's got that nice detailed to it, kind of like the idea was like Fuchs rims. And similar thing I did here on these pedals, you can see them. And then, anyhow, so this here goes in this slot, like that. And then this pin here gets hammered through that slot and through that hole there and holds that all together. Now I'm going to grease this thing up and put it together. Okay, so now I've got this main piece in a vise with an old t-shirt here in between the piece and the vise so it doesn't scratch paint. And I've got some grease This is red grease. I'm not a grease expert, so I don't know if there's anything special. Let's see, there's my pinky fit in there. Anyhow, I'm going to goop a little grease around this shaft and some in the hole. I'm going to grease up the clutch arm and grease up the inside of the brake pedal, and then I'll put it all together. Okay, so you don't want to use your bare hands with this stuff because this stuff is nasty, just nasty. Look at that. Not something you want to touch.